Girl, y'all need to be set for this drama because it looks like the streets just uncovered the identity of the infamous Beck with the good hair. And y'all aren't going to believe this, but it turns out that there are allegedly multiple Beckys. Word on the streets is that our man Jay-Z has been busy slanging that thing all around Hollywood and has a very long list of mistresses. The crazy part about this is that some of the girlfriends are popular celebs that we know quite well, and it looks like Becky with the good hair has been under our noses the entire time. The tea is quite hot with this one because the streets are saying that these women are panicking hard about getting exposed for messing with Beyonce's man, because y'all know that the BeyHive don't play about Beyonce. So who exactly are these women in question, and why on earth did Beyonce stay with a cheating man for so long? Let's break this down. Unless y'all have been hiding under a rock or some sort for the past couple of years, then you've already heard the rumors of Jay-Z cheating on Beyonce. Well, it's not exactly a rumor because both Jay-Z and Beyonce have confirmed that he did indeed cheat and that they worked through their issue. Beyonce confirmed the rumors in her Lemonade album, especially in the song Sorry, where she alluded to a woman called Becky with the good hair who Jay-Z cheated on her with. Jay-Z also confirmed that he had cheated on Beyonce in his song Family Feud, where he rapped, "Yeah, I'll F up a good thing if you let me alone, Becky. A man that don't take care of his family can't be rich." In typical Beyonce fashion, she never confirmed Becky's identity, but fans have always believed that Rachel Roy, a fashion designer and the ex-wife of Rockefeller Records co-founder Damon Dash, was actually the real Becky. She was also a prime suspect for allegedly causing the elevator incident after ceaselessly flirting with Jay at the 2014 Met Gala after party. So it was no surprise that the fans and the media looked in her direction as the potential Becky with the good hair Beyonce sang about on Sorry. But it looks like fans might owe Rachel an apology because according to a new blind item, Becky wasn't just one woman, but multiple women, most of them celebrity. The blind item said, the woman he really wanted, the hardest pill for the superstar Beyonce to swallow, has always been the fact that she knows deep down that she was never his first choice. The husband had long been infatuated with a certain late R&B singer, Aaliyah, and insiders say he pursued her hard before her untimely passing. In fact, many believe that if the singer were still alive, she would have been the one standing next to the rap mogul, not the superstar. The wife knows this and it eats her alive. But it didn't stop there. There was also a sultry singer, Khalees, who the husband was rumored to have been very serious with. Insiders say the wife has always suspected that the relationship continued even after they got together, and despite never having concrete proof, she's never been able to shake the feeling that her husband still had a soft spot for the singer. The wife hates the singer to this day, despite never publicly addressing it. And then came the young pop star Rihanna, who was signed to the husband's label. The chemistry between the two was undeniable, and insiders say the wife knew something was going on behind her back. There were too many late nights in the studio, too many rumors, and too many instances where her husband acted suspiciously. The wife confronted him several times, and each time he gaslit her, making her feel crazy and insecure. But she wasn't crazy, she was right. It continued. Then there were the disturbing situations, the ones that made the wife's stomach turn. There were two younger girls who the husband allegedly and pursued early in their careers. One was a rapper, Foxy Brown, who was barely a teenager when the husband allegedly began taking a special interest in her. The other was an R&B singer, MIA, who also allegedly caught the mogul's attention when she was still underage. The wife knows about both. She's always known, and while it made her sick to her stomach, it still wasn't enough to make her leave, because by that time, her mother had already convinced her that leaving would ruin her career and family. Child, this is quite chaotic, so let me break it down for y'all so you understand just how big of a mess this is. Starting with Aaliyah, Jay-Z's obsession with Aaliyah is well documented, and he loved her so much that he destroyed his relationship with his friend and partner Damon Dash because Aaliyah picked Dame over him. Jay-Z and Dame were just two of the many guys who had their eyes on her, and neither of them were shy about making a move, even though they both knew that they were competing for the same woman.
Into each other. It's a long story.
So you and Jay was both getting at Aaliyah. Obviously,
everybody was getting at Aaliyah, bro.
Right.
She was like, you know, she'll go to dinner with a, but she wasn't going to just be smashing. So that was like the big.
Eventually, Aaliyah started to pay more attention to Damon, and Jay-Z did not like this.
4th of July, so we were, for some reason, this day.
Wait a minute, you, Jay, and Aaliyah ended up in the same house.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Jay-Z hates losing, but things really took a turn when Aaliyah finally chose Dame. Dame didn't come right out and tell Jay-Z that he was the one who sealed the deal, but Jay didn't need a confession since it all went down at a 4th of July party they were all at.
So, you know, this is going to be hard for me because he was like, his friends were laughing at him and shit. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I might have a f***ed up question since we're talking about Aaliyah, and ignore me if it's too much, but do you have any opinion on the R. Kelly situation? Do you think he got railroaded or
Dame also revealed that he knew that Jay-Z was going to make things hard for him because he was super pissed.
I might have a f***ed up question since we're talking about Aaliyah, and ignore me if it's too much, but do you have any opinion on the R. Kelly situation? Do you think he got railroaded or he's where he belongs?
Well, Jay-Z couldn't get over this because he felt like Dame had betrayed him, and this eventually led to the total breakdown of their friendship as well as their business partnership, because Jay-Z sold Rockefeller Records out from under Dame as an act of petty revenge for Dame getting the girl of his dreams. To be fair, his obsession with Aaliyah was before he got together with Beyonce, but then Aaliyah was the one who got away from him, and according to the Blind Item, Beyonce allegedly knows this and has reportedly lived her life knowing that she's number 2 to her husband, and he would have continued pursuing Aaliyah if she were still alive, which is just wild. Now, moving on to Khalees. This particular tea is so low-key that a lot of people don't even know what happened. But there were a lot of rumors back in the day that Khalees and Jay-Z used to have a thing. Of course, this was before she got with Nas, but they reportedly kept things very low-key. But according to the Blind Item, it appears as though Jay-Z kept Khalees on the side when he got with Beyonce, which would explain why Khalees flipped out so hard on Beyonce when B sampled her song Milkshake on her Renaissance album. And don't even get me started on the Rihanna rumors, because rumors of that affair were everywhere back in the day. Back in the late 2000s and early 2010s, there was no shortage of whispers suggesting something was going on between them. However, Rihanna consistently shut down the speculation, maintaining that their connection was strictly professional and purely about music. Her publicist at the time even took responsibility for spreading the fake news, claiming that he did it as a way to push Rihanna's career. He said, "The PR stunt that I did was out of desperation to help break Pon de Replay. It was reckless and I didn't think it was going to work. I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. I didn't know it would be this big story, but now, knowing that people are profiting from speculations and opinions about her really turns my stomach. I'm ashamed that I'm even talking about this. I just want to put this rumor to rest once and for all." But according to Jaguar Wright, not only did the affair indeed happen, but she also claimed that Jay-Z allegedly pimped Rihanna out.
Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. And that first night, when he had that outbreak and he busted in his house and said, "Where the f is this dirty?" I can't fault him for that. He had this is beautiful. Oh, wonderful. Chris Brown, she didn't ruin him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay-Z hurt. Rihanna ain't innocent. Because she was in there giving that nigga in the coat closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, "Bitch, always fucking something."
But as it turns out, Rihanna was not the only artist signed to him that Jay-Z put moves on, because he also allegedly dated Foxy Brown as well. Again, this was before Beyonce, but then Foxy was only about 14 or 15 at the time, while Jay-Z was in his 20s, which makes this story even creepier than the rest. Back in the day, Foxy Brown met Jay-Z right as she was breaking into the industry. They teamed up on a few tracks that took off, and from the outside, it seemed like they had a solid friendship, or at least that's how it looked. But in hindsight, there were definitely some red flags in their dynamic, even back in the 90s. Let's not forget that conversations about an inappropriate relationship weren't as common then as they are now. Now, here's where things get uncomfortable. The lyrics in the songs they worked on together were way too grown for someone Foxy's age. Jay-Z was writing verses for her that had no business coming from a teenager. And looking back, their relationship doesn't seem as innocent as it may have appeared. What was once seen as a mentorship now feels like it could have been something much more questionable. So how did Foxy and Jay-Z go from being a dynamic duo in the studio to him allegedly throwing roadblocks in her career? Well, the streets say their relationship wasn't just about making hits. It allegedly went way beyond music. It wasn't just late night studio sessions. They supposedly had a little something going on behind the scenes. Word was that Jay-Z was Foxy's first, and let's not forget, she was still young while he was pushing 30. It was no secret in the industry that Jay was playing the role of a sugar daddy, splurging on her shopping sprees, covering her glam expenses, and making sure she stayed looking good. And this is where the tea gets scorching. Industry insiders even claim Jay-Z allegedly gave Foxy an STD during their little entanglement. Whew. One thing about Hollywood, STDs seem to be passed around like party favors.
Y'all should go back and talk to all of the niggas that she slept with in Philly when she was in Philly. She burned every last one of them. She sent more to the clinic than
Now, Foxy has always denied the allegations, like the time she said, "The atrociousness of this story sickened me to my stomach. In all my years in the music industry, these are the most disgusting and disrespectful allegations I've ever experienced. This fictitious story with no audio, visual, or written interview clearly was concocted with malicious intent. Jay has only been wonderful to me and my family, a great friend throughout all the years I've known him, and we had nothing but great success as a team." But even with her denial, the affair was something of an open secret. For example, when Nick Cannon tried to press Damon Dash, Jay-Z's former friend, for answers, Damon dodged the question like a pro.
It seems like you got a question for Jay. Ask him. Don't ask me his questions, bro. I'm not taking it.
I'm not just, okay.
Y'all could keep asking me questions.
We're moving on.
Y'all keep asking me questions y'all want to ask him because he ain't here. Ask him. to do with that, and I don't even know nothing.
Child, between the allegations and the countless affairs, it's something of a miracle that Beyonce has managed to keep sane through all of this drama. And if the rumors are true and he's still reportedly cheating, well, he better hope not to be stuck in the elevator with Solange, because we've all seen how much damage she can do. But anywho, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, and then check out this next video.